day 22 of communication with ChatGPT. So let's begin. Hey, ChatGPT.
Hey, Knock. What's up?
Not too much. I want to practice pause before giving my answer, and when I giving my answer, I want it to be fluent. So I want to practice that. Can you act as a coach and do the role play with me and give feedback based on my answers and how to, improve on that?
Absolutely, we can do that. Do you have a specific scenario in mind, or should I set one up for you?
I I would want to do this in the middle of the interview when I receive an unexpected question that I am not familiar with, or I do familiar with, but I don't know how to organize my thoughts and give my answer thoroughly and clearly. So I want to practice on that.
Great. Let's say you're in a data engineer interview and they ask, can you explain how you would handle real time data processing for a large scale application? Take a moment, pause, and then share your answer. Remember to take your time.
Okay, to handle a real-time data processing, first we so there are three main steps here. First, we have to extract from sources. So our source should be something like event-based Kafka topic, and sync like that. Uh, and second, the data processing is the core of this pipeline. So we would want to use technology that help processing data in real time, like Apache Spark Structured Streaming or Apache Flink. And finally, to do the data serving, we would also uh, use the use the streaming technology to push our data to things. So that basically how we handle data streaming.
Great job. You laid out the main steps clearly. A couple of tips. When you pause, try to avoid filler words like or Instead, take a breath. Structuring your thoughts with a quick mental outline before speaking can help. Overall, your use of examples like Kafka and Spark was solid. Keep practicing to smooth out your delivery.
Yes, please continue with another question.
All right, here's another one. Describe a time when you had to optimize a data pipeline for better performance. What steps did you take? Remember to pause, organize your thoughts, and then respond.
So we have a job that ran for about 2 hours, which was too long. And that job was joining one fact table with 20 dimensional tables. And I my task was I create a pre-compute table to pre-aggregate 20 dimensional tables to pre-compute, so that when the job just need to join the fact table with 20 with one pre-compute table, and the result was um, the result was reduced from the job itself reduced from 2 hours to 20 minutes, and and I apply some Spark techniques on those optimization job.
Nice work. You provided a clear example and a specific outcome. A couple of pointers. Try to reduce filler words and slow down a bit more. Structuring your answer with a quick overview, then diving into details can help. Overall, good job highlighting the optimization and results. Keep it up.
Another question.
Got it. Can you describe a situation where you had to ensure data quality in a project? What steps did you take? Remember to pause, then respond.
In my recent project, Lace, I enable sick data pipelines, and all of them have to be data quality enough. And so there are two main categories that I applied to ensure that data is quality. First, I do a lot of testing, and second, I do the monitoring dashboard so that I can monitor those every day.
Nice start. You covered testing and monitoring. To improve, try giving specific examples of tests or dashboards. For instance, mention unit tests or specific metrics you monitored. This will make your answer more concrete. Overall, good job focusing on essential steps.
Yeah, I'm ready for the next question.
All right. Tell me about a time when you had to troubleshoot a data pipeline issue. How did you identify and resolve the problem? Remember to pause, then answer.
Okay, so there was a time the pipeline ran for too long. It took about 10 hours and not having any signal to finish. And what I did was I uh, get into the get into the logs to see where is when it's happening, and eventually the all the all the not workers is running full capacity, but the logic doesn't seem like very heavy workload. So I diagnose the the code and can find that there are many subquery in the Spark SQL, which is very inefficient. So I do some experiment in the in the in the non-production environment, and I change the subquery with joins and keeping the business logic. So eventually, the the job run 10 times faster, maybe 20 times faster the usual than usual than the current code. So that's how I troubleshoot a data pipeline issue.
Great example. You identified the issue through logs and diagnosed inefficient subqueries. Just a couple of tips. Remember to slow down a bit more and use fewer filler words. Also, mentioning how you validated the fix was excellent. Overall, you did well.
I'm ready for the next question.
All right. Can you share a scenario where you collaborated with other teams to achieve a common goal in a data project? What was your role and the outcome? Take a moment, then answer.
I calibrate. I collaborated with many stakeholders during my data engineering role. Um, in the most recent collaboration, I interact with the BA and the stakeholder to analyze the business requirement and understand the business logic, and giving my technical perspective on how to deal with those using from technique. And when the business requirement is clear, I worked with the BA to do the data modeling and align align on those. And finally, when I developed the job, I guide the tester to through the business that expected business that we want, and how to test the job, and so that basically how I collaborate with others.
Nicely done. You provided a clear example of collaboration. To improve, try to streamline your answer by focusing on key points. For instance, mentioning how you contributed to business requirements, data modeling, and testing guidance. Overall, your example shows strong teamwork and technical insight.
I'm ready for the next question.
Great. Can you describe a time when you had to handle a challenging stakeholder request? How did you manage it? Remember to pause, then respond.
So there was a time when we have to deal with some un- some complex nested data structure from the upstream. So I work with the upstream to understand their behavior. Apparently, the message was with many customer ID, multiple customer ID, and multiple drop-off points of there. And the so we want to get each drop-off point for each customer ID, not in a compacted way. But so but the upstream provider is not suitable for that. So what I did was I collaborate with them to profiling the data and to get one specific customer ID per all the drop-off point. And so apparently the multiple customer ID with multiple drop-off points was minor, maybe just about 0.5 percent, and we essentially ignore it and focus on the majority instead. So there was a lot of breaking the ice, understanding the requirements, and relying on the road on how we can resolve that. But that essentially what I encounter with with
Great job addressing a challenging request. You clearly outlined the complexity and how you collaborated to find a solution. To improve, aim to streamline your answer for clarity and focus on the key steps you took. Overall, you demonstrated strong problem solving and communication skills.
no, not at all. I'm ready for the next question.
All right, tell me about a time when you had to meet a tight deadline for a data project. How did you handle it? Pause, then answer.
I currently have a tight deadline right now the because the so my situation here is we have to release at end of next week, and currently our data mapping was very vague because our BA was on a leave was was on the left, and the timeline committed to the business is not cannot changeable. So what I did was first I acknowledge the team lead about current situation and uh, and about the current resources and how can we and rely on how to distribute the work to the team so that we can work efficiently and meet the commitment on time. Second, I take over the BA job and I also um, do the data modeling for her as well, of course with her support. And third, I um, I guide the tester and I collaborate with them to meet the timeline. So far everything is on track. I with apparently I have to spend a couple more hours every day to meet the deadline, but that's how I manage the tight deadline.
Great response. You showed proactive communication, taking on extra responsibilities, and ensuring alignment with the team. To refine your answer, focus on specific steps and outcomes. Mentioning how you ensured everything stayed on track is excellent. Overall, your example demonstrates strong leadership and adaptability.
Yeah, but still could not make my answer thoroughly and smoothly. I have to pause intermediately every, I can finish my sentence without pausing. I just speak few words, then pause for thinking for the next words, and also do that all over again. I really want to improve on that.
It's okay. Improving fluency takes practice. Try focusing on one idea at a time and speaking more slowly. Pausing to think isn't a bad thing. It shows you're being thoughtful. You can also practice by recording yourself answering questions and gradually reducing pauses. Over time, you'll get more comfortable. Keep practicing.
Yeah, I am practicing right now. Give me another example.
Sure, describe a time when you had to handle a large volume of data. What tools and techniques did you use? Take a moment, then answer.
There was a time when it's on TED holiday, so the transaction of users at Techcombank was increased significantly, and the uh, T24 statement tables often have only 10 gigabyte per day, but during TED holiday, it increased to 1 gigabyte per day. So what we did was, in the short term, we increase the worker type and the number of worker before the peak hours, so that, because since we use glue, those config is configurable. And second, we look at the statistical numbers in previous years and anticipate those. Second, we diagnose our code and optimize the part that that can be faster. And we also encounter S3 slowdown uh, at some point, because we used to write to many small files with many unused partitioned. So what we did was we repartitioned the job so that it write to considerate size of files, and to reduce the you know to mitigate the big data volume impact to the job. So that three things that we did.
Great response. You outlined the challenges and your solutions well. To refine your answer, aim for more concise explanations and highlight specific tools or techniques. For instance, mentioning glue, optimizing code, and repartitioning for S3 efficiency. Keep practicing and you'll become even more confident and clear.
Okay, I'm ready for the next question.
Great. Tell me about a time when you had to document a complex data process. How did you ensure clarity for others? Pause, then answer.
At Techcombank, we have many data pipelines, and my current project, the six data pipelines had different patterns. Some sort from external files, some sort from a relational database, some sort from MSK topic. So essentially, it gave us a lot of overhead when trying to develop new flow and to backfill some existing flow, and also monitoring those is burdensome. And what I did was I centralized those data flow into one document called lay summary, and which with each flow I draft the the data flow on a draw EO file so that we can see how data move from each data zones to the next one, and how the data model is transformed. So basically it had those two scenario, I'm sorry, those two information, the flow diagram and the data model reference to the data mapping document, so that the BA, the tester, and the development ourselves can easily, quickly look at those documents and um, work with our current patterns.
Great approach. You effectively centralized and documented complex data flows, making them accessible. To refine your answer, emphasize how these diagrams and models improved team efficiency. Mentioning Draw IO and data mapping was excellent. Overall, your process clearly supports collaboration. Keep practicing for smoother delivery.
I'm ready for the next question.
All right. Can you share an example of a time when you had to learn a new technology for a project? How did you approach it? Pause, then answer.
So when I first joined Lace, we also have a new pattern to do the near real-time pipeline, sourcing from MSK topics through others MFK topic and serve to a sync. And what I so I wasn't familiar with Kafka and with um, with streaming itself. So what I did was, as we already use Spark as our main data processing tool, I looked at some alternative, and I compared Spark with Flink in a glance. So and decided to go with Spark. And after that, I read the article with Spark on Kafka, and and can quickly do a POC and see that it works. So it's suitable for our case. And finally, I apply that into the framework so that we can have Spark read on MSK topic, and also transformation and write data to the uh, MSK sync as requirement. So so that basically how I deal with learning new technology to serve the business requirements, and and that's all.
Great example. You showed a clear process from research to implementation. Can refine your answer, streamline your steps, and focus on key actions like comparing Spark and Flink, doing a POC, and applying it. Overall, you demonstrated a solid approach to learning new tech. Keep practicing for smoother delivery.
No, I'm not that good at giving my answer. I need another question.
No worries, let's keep going. Tell me about a time when you had to deal with conflicting priorities in a project. How did you manage them? Pause, then answer.
In that scenario, first I should know about why there is a conflict in priority. So first, I want to know more about the context. I would go to the tech lead and to the PO, or I will bring it in the team meeting like planning or refinement, to see what is our prioritization on those tasks. Is and if the if the prioritization is unclear, then in those meetings we have to clear out what the timeline, what the business requirement, what are current situation that we have, and what are some problem or blockers that's stopping us from moving forward. And second, after we clear all that, reprioritize thing and uh, and maybe update the plan as needed so that all the team can have the same voice and the same vision, the same goal to go through. And finally, when when everything is as planned, we can also regularly check on that in another session like planning or refinement. Um, and we can also do some lesson learned and look back with the retrospective session. So that's basically how I did.
Great job outlining your approach. You showed a clear process of addressing conflicting priorities through communication and alignment. To refine your answer, consider adding a specific example for context. Overall, your strategy of involving the team and maintaining open communication was excellent. Keep practicing.
Yes, I need another question.
All right. Describe a time when you had to present technical information to a non-technical audience. How did you ensure they understood? Pause, then answer.
When I was working with the upstream Adobe CDP, there was some alignment session between us because um, we have to understand their data structure and how those data is generated within their platform, and also we have to explain how can we handle those and how can those affect us and another downstream and the whole data pipeline. So to so first I would I would analyze their background. So their upstream system, they don't know much about Spark, about how our data processing works. So so first I just need some information from them, and I give some appropriate, suitable information for my end to not overload them with the technical things. And for example, they give us uh, one message with multiple customer ID and multiple drop-off points, but we only need, or we should have one message with one customer ID and there's and their drop-off points of that only one customer. So because we collaborated and aligned with them to ask them to send those for us, and also we can handle those to the downstream. And when they ask us to monitor, we can we can clear with them that our data flow through many zones, and when we do the monitor, we often monitor at the final zones, not only your upstream the zone receiving directly your data, your messages. And so that basically how we um, interact the with the upstream. And yeah, and finally, to make sure that they understand, we also have an email uh, after every discussion to have the awareness of everyone on board with another stakeholder to get to familiar with the alignments that we did, so that we can keep development on those requirements. So that's how we did.
Excellent approach. You focused on understanding your audience's background, simplifying technical details, and ensuring clear communication. To enhance your answer, streamline the steps and emphasize key points, like using emails to reinforce discussions. Overall, your example shows effective communication and collaboration.